What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing an updated video of the Note 9 versus the Note 10 Plus versus the Note 20 Ultra versus the S22 Ultra. And the S22 Ultra, yes, it is technically a Galaxy Note phone. It really is more of a Note than an S series phone because it's got the body style that all the other Notes traditionally have, the built-in S Pen. So, you know, for anybody that wanted to know why this phone was included. And yeah, this also goes for the standard Note 20 and the standard Note 10. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk about what you guys need to know for going into 2023, you know, about software, hardware, gaming performance, you know, updates, everything about these phones if you're interested in buying one of these guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to update you guys first and foremost on the prices of these phones. And also, if you want the wallpapers, it's in the description down below. And yeah, so the prices on these phones, a Galaxy Note 9, this phone was, I think it got its last security patch update this year, so it's no longer getting security patches, which sucks because this phone is a pretty awesome phone. I really like this phone. I did an updated video. If you guys want to see comparisons and updated videos on these phones, type it in the search bar, and I have a ton of gaming test comparisons for you guys to check out. The Note 9, really solid device. A lot of people still really love this phone. It's still extremely cheap. You can find it for under 200 bucks, and I think I personally still think it's a better deal than like picking up like a Motorola phone, because a lot of people, they don't want to spend a lot of money on a phone with a stylus. I would still kind of get this phone. Even though it's not getting security patches, I've been using it and it still works perfectly fine. I would just probably install some antivirus software on it just to be safe. But yeah, this phone still has, it's just really awesome. Check out my updated video on this one. The Galaxy Note 10 Plus is slowly coming into that $200 price range. This phone is also currently in its security patch stages. The last update for this phone was Android 12, One UI 4.1, and it will be getting security patches from now on. The Note 20 Ultra, this phone is still roughly around 350 bucks. Like I said, pretty cheap as well too. And then the S22 Ultra, it is still roughly, you know, hanging around $1,000. So when it first came out, it was around, you know, I came out at like $1,200, so it is coming down a little bit. The Note 20 Ultra, this got its last major OS update, Android 13, unfortunately, and it's been a really smooth experience. I really like the Android 13 update. It really like helped the animations, the speed of this phone. And it will get security patches as well. Now, the awesome thing about the S22 Ultra is that this phone gets, technically, this is from Samsung, 4 years of major OS updates and then 5 years of security patches. So it has a really long lifespan. So if you do decide to upgrade from these phones or just get the S22 Ultra, just know that you will have a very long lifespan with this phone. So I want to talk about the screens on all of these phones. So the Note body style has these very boxy screens. So like the S series phones, you would typically have a more curved sort of screen. These have very boxy style screens, which I think look really good. They always maintain this sort of futuristic look. Even if you look at the Note 10 Plus, it's a much older phone, but it still looks basically like an S22 Ultra from the front. And the Note 9, you know, here showing its age here with the, you know, a lot of bezel going on right there. But what's cool about the Note 9 is that there actually is no punch hole on it. So I know a lot of people who hate punch holes, and I really like that about this phone. It's just no distraction on the screen. I like that Samsung made that move there. One thing you will notice between the older Galaxy phones and the newer ones, right, the S22 Ultra, is that the S22 Ultra is crazy bright. Now, the Note 20 and, you know, the rest of these phones, they do pretty good in direct sunlight. They're bright, but man, the S22 Ultra is super bright, and it's very impressive, guys. So I really do like that in direct sunlight, because I have all these lights hitting the screens right now, and man, it looks really good. It's just super bright and vibrant there. So that's one thing that I really like. What's awesome about these screens is that all of these phones are 1440p, so they're super high resolution, very crisp and clear when you look up close, very high PPIs on all of these phones as well too. Now, with the newer ones, right, the Note 20 Ultra and the S22 Ultra, these phones do have 120 Hertz on them, but unfortunately the Note 20 Ultra can only do it at 1080p. The S22 Ultra can do it at 1440p. But yes, the big difference here with the screens is the 120 hertz. If you've never tried 120 hertz, it is very awesome. I think personally, once you try 120 hertz, it'll be very hard to go back to any phone with 60 hertz display. It'll pretty much be mandatory, and you can kind of feel that throughout when you interact with the stylus. So I noticed the 120 hertz is a big deal. When in terms of making the stylus feel very smooth and fluid, is one thing that I really like. It does make a difference in terms of smoothness and just how accurate it feels, right? So it is really, really like, it just feels instant. The S22 Ultra is probably the most instant feeling stylus. So for people who want digital artwork, if you want the best of the best, it does feel extremely smooth. And yeah, the Note 10 Plus, it feels pretty much on par in terms of smoothness, almost, but not quite. I think it's because of 120 hertz, and I also think because I think the specs on the pen are not as accurate. Yeah, you could definitely tell the difference between the Note 10 Plus and S22 Ultra. It has like, it's very slight, but it's just more instant on the S22 Ultra. Even though the Note 10 Plus is still feels smooth, you can definitely tell the difference. And I wonder if you could feel a difference from the Note 9. It probably will feel somewhat on par with the... But if you guys just like phones with the S Pen, these Galaxy Note phones do it the best. That's why I said I would just get a Note phone. I would avoid the Motorola phones because you can't take advantage of the software. The software is so well optimized on these Galaxy phones with the S Pen, and like you have all these software features that you can take advantage of. It's just not there on the Motorola phones. So that's why I always say, hey, if the stylus is a big deal, just get a Galaxy Note series phone, guys. I would avoid the Moto stylus phones. Honestly, they're good, but the stylus is not the quality of the stylus is not as good, and the software is not as good. So if you're buying that for that specific reason, you really want to get a Note phone and avoid those phones. Let's talk about the gaming performance on here and just the chips and specs in general here. So there's a big difference here, as you can see down the line, what Samsung has been doing spec-wise. So the Galaxy Note 9 Snapdragon 845 on here, you do have SD card support, and this is the last Note phone with a headphone jack as well too. And then we have the 855 with the Note 10 Plus. This also has SD card support, and I love the base model. This is one of the best base models that Samsung has came out with because it's got SD card support and 256 gigs of base storage with 12 gigs of RAM. The Note 20 Ultra Snapdragon 865, to me, one of the most efficient chips that Qualcomm has put out. It's just really efficient with power. And this phone, I believe this one is the 256 gigs or 8 gig of RAM version. I can't remember. It might be 128. But yeah, this also has SD card support, and then Samsung got rid of SD card support with the S22 Ultra, and one of the worst base models for the price that you get with this phone. It is absolutely ridiculous. 128 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM with the S22 Ultra, and Samsung tried to make some stupid excuse that the virtual memory, nobody cares. Like, if you're buying a $1,200 phone, we don't care about virtual memory. We can take advantage of that. We want to have, like, this, for people who buying these type of phones, you want to have like a specced out phone. So we want the 12 gigs of RAM on the base model. Like, come on now. The Pixel is $900 and has 12 gigs of RAM. All right, so that was a little side rant. But yeah, we have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 on the S22 Ultra. Really, it's good in terms of benchmarks, obviously, because it's newer, but really not that fun to game on. This phone kind of gets hot during long periods of gaming. A lot of the 8 Gen phones do. It's not just Samsung. A lot of them do. It's just the chip. It's just kind of hot. But yeah, this does do great. None of these phones can do 90 frames with PUBG, unfortunately, except for, oh no, this one can't do it. The S20 Ultra can. Oh, this can do it. Oh, the Note can do it. I don't know how I missed that, or I forgot about it. But the Note can do 90 frames. Yeah, so the Note 20 Ultra and the S20 Ultra can do it, but the newer phones can't. The S21 Ultra and the yeah, it can't. There's no 90 frames. So, like I said, I prefer gaming on the Note 20 Ultra and the Note 10 Plus because these just don't heat up as bad as you know, the newer chips, and you get the same settings. It plays at HDR Extreme. The Galaxy Note 9 surprisingly is still really good. Now the settings aren't as good, right? You can't do HDR, extreme. But it plays really well. It's a smooth, extreme settings, so it's able to hold 60 frames really well. Again, it might not be the prettiest, but it still looks really good to me and very much playable. Also, I'll show you guys the Geekbench scores as well too. So if you're trying to game, man, I really love the Note 20 Ultra. It does a great job with the A65 chip. The Note 10 Plus does really great too. S22 Ultra obviously is going to be great because of the newer chip, but like I said, it just heats up more than I would like it to. Let's see, show you guys. So that's the 845. That's not right. 855. And that's not right. Samsung, the Geekbench scores are always really messed up. You have to run them twice, 3 times. I think Samsung got banned actually for something from Geekbench or something. Which one is right here? It is. All right, so these are the correct Geekbench scores here. This is what you can expect your phone to get, so you can compare those. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the software features. So basically, all these phones pretty much have the same software as the new S22 Ultra. In terms, except the Note 9, but the Note 10 Plus, Note 20 Ultra. Samsung desktop support is here, reverse wireless charging, secure folders. So basically, One UI 4.1 is not really that different from the One UI 5. As you can see, you still have a lot of that on the Note 9. Samsung desktop support, secure folders. Like I said, but you do have a lot more newer stuff with One UI 4 and 5 that you'll be missing since, obviously this didn't get the Android 12 and 13 update. I think this stopped at Android 9. Yeah, it stopped at Android. Oh, it stopped at Android 10, One UI 2.5. Yeah, so as far as software, that's what you'll pretty much be working with there. Let's go ahead and compare these speakers of these devices. Our max volume on all of these guys, we'll start with the 9. Yeah, a big jump with the speaker from the 9 to the 10. Yeah, the 10 Plus is noticeably louder. Pretty much the same. Yeah, the S22 Ultra again is more so on par with the Note 9. It's not as loud as the Note 10 Plus or the S22 Ultra. Yeah, it just sounds flat in comparison. Yeah, bass-wise, it just sounds flat, and it's just not as loud. Yeah, so that's pretty much the, the gist there. What's pretty interesting about the Note 9 is that this phone has a physical fingerprint scanner on the back, which is very fast. But also, this does have the iris scanner and the heart rate monitor on it as well too, which is pretty cool. And then the Note 10 Plus has the in-display fingerprint scanner. The Note 20 Ultra, S22 Ultra, they all are pretty fast. They feel the same to me, so I don't really notice a difference there. And let's go ahead and talk about the cameras, because the cameras on these phones have really just grown throughout the years, right? From the Note 9, just look at the Note 9 compared to the S22 Ultra here. And it's just a big spec upgrade in terms of megapixels, 100 times zoom on the S22 Ultra, 108 megapixel lens, just crazy detailed shots, really good zoom quality. So Samsung's focus throughout the years, really comparing the stills, it hasn't been so much like the stills have not been like a major upgrade. If you're in good lighting with any of these phones, they take a pretty good shot. Samsung has been really focused on the zoom quality shots and just being able to zoom in, and man, is it very impressive. Also, video has been getting better as well too. Obviously, if you want a great camera, S22 Ultra, Note 20 Ultra are great options. They have a lot of great zoom capabilities as well too. The Note 20 Ultra can zoom 50 times and takes great zoom shots. The Note 10 Plus, check out my comparison I did. I put it up against the latest phones, S22 Ultra, 14 Pro. It still does a very good job at taking stills. Really impressed with this phone in terms of quality wise. It doesn't have all the crazy zoom and stuff like that, but it will get you some really good high dynamic range shots, good detail, good ultra wide. And like I said, I was really impressed with the Note 9's camera as well too. Again, same story. Great stills on here and good lighting. All of these phones take very good shots, guys. So check out my videos if you guys want to see the cameras comparisons in more detail. They all take great shots. But like I said, if you want the best of the best, obviously you're going to go with the S22 Ultra, go with the Note 20 Ultra. You get a really good zoom functionality. You get very high resolution video. You can shoot in 8K and all that good stuff. So yeah, so I really like the stills. I don't think any of these cameras are actually bad in my opinion. So like I said, check out those comparisons so you can see what I'm talking about. You'll be actually pretty shocked at how close the image quality is. I do want to go ahead and talk about battery life. This is where Samsung has not improved at all with any of the Note phones. From the Note 9 all the way to the S22 Ultra, there is pretty much, they all do around 6 hours of screen on time. No upgrade with battery life whatsoever. And I think Samsung really needs to focus on that with the S23 Ultra. I would love to see just better battery life on these phones. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I really do like a lot of these phones. Like I said, if you're looking for a budget Note phone, I think the Note 10 Plus is a sweet spot. It's still going to get a few years of security patches. And it's still got a great chip. So if you're in the budget spot, now if you want to spend a little bit more money, I would definitely go for the S22 Ultra, right? But I would say if you're looking for a newer phone, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would even go with the S21 Ultra over the Note 20 Ultra. The S21 Ultra is somewhat close in price. I think it's like 430 bucks. This is 350. So if you save that extra money, I would get that and then get the this case built into the S22 Ultra, S21 Ultra, so you have the pen support. The S21 Ultra does have pen support. I would buy that phone over this one, and I would just save up and get it if you really just want something a little bit newer, and you don't want to spend like the $1,000 and stuff like that. But yeah, so I really like all these phones. They're all great. They're all like great prices. Like I said, I probably wouldn't buy the Galaxy Note 9 because the price is just way too close to the Note 10 Plus now. Unless you can get it for very cheap, then I would do that. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.